You can learn cold approach without being one of those needy, manipulative, crusty pickup artists who just need to have sex to feel validated. These guys get a lot of shit and they deserve it. I understand why nobody wants to be like them. However, talking to women you find attractive is actually a really good skill to have. Today I'll teach you how to cold approach without being manipulative, dishonest, or fake. Why should you listen to me though? I went from autistic overthinker to doing multiple cold approaches every day now. So let's get into the video. The first thing I want to talk about is the mindset that pickup artists have, because pickup artists, they're quite often these scrawny, ugly guys who are slightly fat and they've been frustrated with women all their life because no one was into them, and now they decided to, okay, now I'm gonna show the women and now I'm gonna get all the attraction that they used to deny me back in the days. So we have these compensating guys learning all these manipulative tactics without remorse because they are thinking they're in the right since women did them wrong first by ignoring them all their life. So what pickup artists do is they almost see it as kind of like a skill they can get better. They can see, okay, yeah, so these are lines that work on women, these are lines that don't work on women, these are lines that work in certain situations. They're thinking about how they can manipulate a mind of another person to make that person give them what they want, which is sex, and that makes it especially creepy. So they start picking up these routines and openness, and for pickup artists it's almost like a job. They go out with the sole purpose of, okay, I want to apply routine number 5 to 10 women today, and then we'll see if routine number 5 is good or if it's trash. And if it's good, then I'll try opener number 6 as well. And this is what pickup artists do. Their sole purpose of going out is not to have fun, not to meet friends, but exclusively to pick up women, and that gives them a weird energy from the get-go, which they try to compensate through learning game. And the mindset of pickup artists is also captured by weird autistic terms, like they talk about IOIs, which means indications of interest. They have canned openers, they have routines, they have full closing, they have AMAGs and type of shit. So they really, like, they're so obsessed with women, which is not a good thing. And I'll explain why it's not a good thing in a second. So we can say that pickup is the male attempt of mapping out the female brain. And these pickup artists, they use this map to find the pussy because they're very needy for it. And I need to read you a paragraph from a book for pickup artists, which, don't ask me why I read this, okay, but it's for research purposes, okay. So, seduction is defined in the dictionary as an enticement to wrongdoing, specifically the offense of inducing a woman to consent to unlawful sexual intercourse by enticements which overcome her scruples. In other words, seduction implies tricking, being dishonest, and hiding your motives. That's not what we want. These pickup artists have to create a facade because they are convinced that if they were to show their real selves, then women wouldn't fuck them. And this is literally what pickup artists are. They're just these needy guys who are almost like a circus monkey, you know, learning routines, learning performances to impress the woman, to hopefully convince her that she's going to suck his cock. But honestly, that's so fucking sad. Imagine you're so needy for a girl's approval that you start changing up your personality, that you start learning openness to convince her to give you sexual favors. That's just cringe. They have this insane need for women and they compensate. They're trying to hide this need behind like this cool pickup artist persona. Now, speaking to women, I know I just hated on pickup artists for like 5 minutes, but speaking to women, it's actually a cool fucking skill. You want to learn this as well, right? But not in the cringe, needy, manipulative way like pickup artists do, but more in an honest way. Let's talk about it. So what I want you to apply when you're getting into cold approach is a mindset of honesty. Now, this differs from the pickup artist mindset. It's almost like the light and the dark side of the Force, you know, from Star Wars. There's the Force, which is just the Force, and then you can use it in a good way or you can use it in a bad way. We are using cold approach in a good way, these pickup artists are using it in a bad way. So the light side of pickup is honesty and the dark side of pickup is manipulation and pickup artistry. And by the way, I've created a full guide that goes into more detail in this, shows you how to get your first cold approach, but in a non-needy way without being a pickup artist. You can check it out in the first link in the description. So the core difference between us and these pickup artists is that these pickup artists do seduction, we do attraction. And to define attraction, I want to compare it to seduction by using an analogy. Imagine there's a salesman and he is selling a shitty old TV. Like, you know, these old TVs who are like this big and the screen is this small and it just flickers all the time. They're like trash TVs, they only have 5 channels. But the guy who's selling those old trashy TVs, he's extremely good at sales, okay? He knows exactly what marketing campaigns he needs to put out there to make people think, oh yeah, that's retro, that's so cool. He knows exactly what he needs to say to customers coming into the store to make them buy this old shitty TV. That is seduction. That is what the pickup artists are doing. They are shit people who are just needy and who are just desperate for pussy, but they have learned game to make women believe they're actually cool guys. Now attraction, that is the opposite of this. Instead of having a shit product with amazing marketing, we have a good product that doesn't even really need marketing because people know it's a good product, so they buy it by themselves. We're kind of like Apple, you know? Everybody knows, okay, like Apple devices, they're kind of expensive, but they're also good devices. So we buy from Apple, they don't even need advertising anymore. The best products don't need marketing. The best cold approaches don't need game. So what we are doing is we're not learning sales, we're not learning game, trying to get the women into us by saying the correct things. We are just putting ourselves on the shelves. So women can see us and think like, oh, okay, cool, this guy, I choose this guy. Now, this comes with a caveat because like society can talk about equals all they want. The narrative can say, yeah, we're equal. What's not gonna happen is that a woman is going to cold approach you. So it's not going to be enough that you just go outside and if you're like looking good and you're smelling good and you're feeling confident, then women are going to come up to you and speak to you. That's never going to happen. So you still need to approach women, and now you're thinking, wait, am I not a pickup artist then? No, you're not, because the pickup artists are approaching and trying to sell themselves as a shitty product. You are approaching and you're just giving her the opportunity to buy you, to say, okay, I like this guy, I invest into him. So this is what cold approach as a non-needy guy is. You give her the opportunity to like you back. And you're not trying to manipulate her into liking you. You are literally just saying, hey, I like you, do you like me as well? And you do that by cold approach. Now finally, let's talk about some hands-on advice how to cold approach but without being a pickup artist. And the first thing is what the pickup artists do all the time. They go out exclusively to meet women. And that's just a terrible strategy because that makes you needy and that gives you bad energy that the women can smell immediately that you're a crusty pickup artist. You should never go out just to meet women. You should go out because you go to the gym or because you need to shop for a few items, but never just to meet women. And then when you're in the gym, bro, honestly, you always see women in the gym. That's when you cold approach. Don't go out of your way just to get attraction from a woman because that makes you needy. What I want you to remember is that for them, it's a job. For us, it should be fun. Always. And if it's not fun, we're not doing it. For example, on days where you're feeling tired and you're just like, no, you know, honestly, today I'm not really like in a talkative mood, then you don't force yourself to still do 10 approaches. I need to do 10 approaches a day. You just say, okay, well, today then we're just chilling. Like, you know, I'm going to watch a movie at home. It's fine. You don't need any seduction, but there's one thing you need to do, because if you just talk to women, they really won't realize that you're hitting on them because they are used to millions of guys, especially if they're hot, millions of guys coming to them, trying to have like a friendly conversation for 5 minutes without making any moves. So putting yourself on the shelf doesn't mean you just have to speak to women and then they will automatically be into you. You still have to do like one flirty comment, which ideally should be just the thing you want to tell her anyways. When you saw her and you were thinking like, damn, she does crazy workouts, you tell her, hey, I respect that you do crazy workouts. And I want you to beware of one thought that can make honest cold approaches turn to the dark side, which is the thought of, okay, if I am good enough, I'll be able to fuck every woman, because that's not gonna happen. Not every woman is going to like you back unless you are a little chump who changes himself to fit every woman, but then you're just a needy pickup artist. I want you to stay on the light side of cold approach. It is not about just fucking as many women as possible, but it is about, okay, once I see this chick that I really want to speak to, I'm actually able to do that. And not, oh, I need to speak to every woman, even if she's kind of ugly, I just need to prove myself, and I just need to prove myself that I have game, and I'm like, don't do that shit. Again, I made a full guide. It's the first thing in the description. It shows you how you can get your first cold approach while staying on the light side of the force. When you get this course and you start cold approaching, I just want you to remember that with great power comes great responsibility. Don't use this in a bad way. You can click and watch this video to keep on learning, or subscribe to the channel right here. I see you in the next one.